According to new reports based on conversations with people inside the Social Security Administration, people who receive Social Security benefits that have been trying to deal with the Social Security Administration, and legal representatives who represent people who are on Social Security. According to all three of those groups of people, so pretty much anyone associated with Social Security, the entire system has become a complete and total nightmare because of what Elon Musk and his little teenage minions at Doge have done to it. And one of the biggest issues, according to the people who have to deal with it, is that there's nobody to answer the phones anymore. Now, I don't know if people realize this, but there is a generation gap here in the United States. We still have an older generation, just so happens to be the generation that's on Social Security, that they're not as well versed with doing things online as the younger generation. These are people who lived most of their lives without computers and the internet. When they have an issue with something, with a company, with a government service, they pick up the phone and they dial a phone number. That's just what they do. That's how they were raised. There's nothing wrong with that. And up until, 6 months ago, Social Security was designed to handle that. They had people. Now, that doesn't mean that you wouldn't have to wait on hold for, a short amount of time. You absolutely did. But your call would be answered in a timely manner. Today, however, that is no longer the case. Due to the mass layoffs for no apparent reason that took place at Social Security, there are now reports that people are calling these phone lines and sitting on hold for over 5 to 6 hours. And people don't call these phone numbers, the 800 number for the Social Security Administration, just to check in and see how things are going. You call that number when you have a problem. So hanging up or not getting a resolution is not an option for these people because most of them, the vast majority, are wondering, where the hell is my check? Where are my benefits? Or my check was wrong. My check went to the wrong place. I need this rectified. This is all the money I have in the world each month. So they have no choice but to stay on hold for all this time. And that's when things get even worse. Because it turns out these, again, very tech illiterate people with Doge that were supposed to be these tech bros, tech geniuses, they know nothing of technology. They went in and they installed a bunch of AI chatbots. And those chatbots are not just digital, they're also on the phone. So there are now reports of these people, thousands of them, that have been on hold for over 6 hours, that then the phone picks up. But it's not a human being, it's the AI. And rather than responding to any questions or redirecting them or telling them you're going back on hold, the AI bot from Doge is now spewing out, according to even, the lawyers who represent people for Social Security, just spewing out random information completely unrelated to what the person is calling about and then hanging up on them. So you sit on hold trying to figure out where your monthly rent is for 5, 6, 7, 8 hours. And then finally a robot comes on, tells you how awesome Social Security is and hangs up on you. You then have to start the process all over and hope that next time you get a human being instead of the AI chatbot. I cannot stress enough the fact that 6 months ago, before Trump came into office, this wasn't a thing. This wasn't a problem. But Doge came in, Elon Musk came in, a man who hates Social Security so much that a few months ago he called it a Ponzi scheme that should be killed. They did this. And it wasn't an accident. The problems Social Security is facing right now is not a byproduct of it. It's by design. It's planned incompetence. We see it in Republican policies every day. Republicans campaign for office telling us that the government does not work, even though the government does work. When they get into office, they break the government. Then when people need it, say for flood response in Texas or Social Security, the administration can say, look, it's broken. They don't remind you that they broke it, But they tell you, look, it's broken and that's why it shouldn't exist. That's why Kristi Noem, who delayed FEMA action for 3 days after the Texas floods, is now saying clearly FEMA is dysfunctional and should be disbanded. That's why Elon Musk broke Social Security, one of the best running government programs in the history of government programs. He broke it, and now he gets to say, well, look, see, it doesn't even work. I told you it was bad, and now look at it. Look how bad it is now. But what they forget to tell you intentionally is that they did that. These programs were working. They were not broken. They were helping countless people every day in this country. And now they can't because Republicans intentionally broke it to prove to you that the government doesn't work. No, the government works just fine. What doesn't work for you are Republicans. Thanks for watching, everybody. And if you're not already, please subscribe to the channel. We got fresh content every day for you. And if you want to follow us across social media, make sure you check out all of the social links that we have posted in the description of this video.